We're back on Localite. Victor Johnson is my guest today, and before the break I wanted to talk to you a bit about your process of creating music for kids. You had talked about that was sort of somewhat the path that you chose in going professional. So tell me a bit about how you write and how you put yourself in the mind of a child, basically, something that's going to apply to them.
Yeah, well, first of all, I never wanted to play kids' music in the first place. Okay. My friend Mo Dixon from the Gorge, he said, Vic, you got a son, or you got a child, you got a daughter, you'd be really good at this. I'm like, no, I don't know how to do this kind of thing. And it was just real organic. It just kind of happened. And I think the reason that my music resonates with kids is because I don't talk down to them. The kids are way smarter than people realize. And they're like these amazing little souls. Just if they've been around for a couple of years, that doesn't mean that they're not really intelligent and compassionate and amazing in all kinds of ways. So I think I really see them for who they are, and they like that. And the music appeals to adults because it's hipper than most of kids' music that's out these days. So it kind of works for both parents and kids, and that's really been the success.
Yeah. So how do you kind of tap in, though, to sort of that child psyche almost? I mean, like, you're doing something that appeals to the parent as far as from a child music standpoint. They can relate to it, it's great for their kid, but they kind of like it too. But for the kid, how is it that you're actually tapping into sort of the things that they're going to be interested in and making it educational?
It might just be how much time I spend around kids. I think it might just rub off a lot. When you're around, you become who you hang around, they say. So if you hang around a bunch of free-spirited, creative, imaginative little bodies, it rubs off on you. And the craziest stuff comes up when you're in that state of mind.
Yeah.
The weirdest things you would never think of just come out. So I think that's a lot of it.
So would you say almost all of your songs are inspired, the ones, for kids, would you say almost all of them have a child or maybe a group of kids that inspired those songs?
Probably.
Yeah?
Probably. I don't know if I could trace it to the exact person, but they'll just say the funniest things, you know? Like when my friend Trace was a little kid, he'd ask, it's like a pregnant woman, it's like, does food fall on the baby's head when you eat that sandwich? It's like, it's just like endless material.
Right. So growing up as a child, you were actually from the Dells.
I'm from the Dells. Yep.
So and you're still here.
I'm a born and bred Localite, never left. Well, I went to college. I traveled a little bit, but I'm here. This is home.
Okay. How does the Gorge impact your music? From the children's music all the way up to the stuff that's more for adults?
Oh, the Gorge is an amazing place. Beautiful nature. We have everything here. And also the people that have come to the area, I think, have added a lot. Some of my best friends are people that have come here from Chicago or Texas, and I think there's a real great infusion of personalities and artistry and all kinds of energy that's really positive to the area.
Yeah, well, definitely a very diverse group of people around here, and multi-talented. I can't believe the people that, you find out something about them and you're like, wow, and then you find out, oh, and they also did this and this and this. So I totally relate to that. So now you have a new album, or an album that's going to be about to be released, of songs that you've done that have, well, tell me about the new album coming out.
Yeah. The new record I have coming out is songs for learning multiplication tables and skip counting. So it's kind of a math CD, kind of in the strain of the old schoolhouse rock kind of stuff, but a little hippier. That was 30 years ago or whatever. So I've been working on those kind of things, and I really like it. There's going to be a whole line of it, I think. There'll be the money CD and the math CD and the science CD, and I really dig it. It's fun.
Cool. Well, going from multiplication and the alphabet up to a song that you recently wrote that has quite a bit of impact, not only for you, but for a lot of people in our community. And I don't know that you actually have a title yet for the song.
I don't even have a title for it, but you're right. There's a new song. A friend of mine, Jennifer Lyon, passed away a couple months ago from breast cancer. 37 years old, died from a 5-year battle with breast cancer, and she was pretty well known as Jen from the TV show Survivor, and she was a top 3 finalist, I think, in that show. And so when she passed away, this song kind of came through, and I don't even know where it came from, to be honest. No one asked me to write the song or I was going to play for the reception for the family, and then the song came through, and I called them up and said, "There's something going on. This song, you need to hear it. I'm not saying we need to play it, but someone needs to hear it." And as soon as they heard it, they said, "Oh gosh, you got to play it." And it's an amazing song. It's just about not just surviving something. You know, we all survive something.
Sure.
It could be anything. And certain people, after something terrible happens to them, they find a way to make it into something good.
Turn it to a positive.
Exactly. And she was like that. She took her breast cancer and her celebrity and used it to make people aware about breast cancer and getting checked for these kind of things. And so when someone can do that, it makes them really remarkable.
Yeah.
And that's how I really saw her. And so the song is about not just surviving, but really thriving. And I'm convinced anymore that, you know, the purpose for life is to really be as bright a light you can for other people that are still in whatever darkness they happen to be in. So it's a pretty powerful song, and it speaks to a lot of people. We played it for the Haven benefit the other night. A lot of survivors of sexual abuse and assault and those kind of things. And
right, domestic abuse of all different kinds.
Yeah, there's all kinds of survivors. You know,
yeah. Survivors of poverty, survivors. So it's relatable on so many levels.
Right.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
And I was going to say too, I know that you had Denise Brown on, Nicole Simpson Brown's sister.
Right.
And you know, not everyone does survive, as that story tells us. So I think it's really important, if you are someone that can survive something, you kind of owe it to everyone who doesn't, to make the best of your lot and help those you can.
Absolutely. Well, and just like your friend that inspired this song, she didn't survive it, but during the time that she was here, she inspired you and other people, and she left her mark.
Absolutely.
So, and I understand you're going to actually sing that along with a couple other songs for us.
I would love to.
All right. Well, great. We're going to take another quick break here on Localite, but when we come back, Victor Johnson is going to play 3 songs for us, so you're not going to want to miss it. We'll be right back.